Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Soto here with the Out of Wood Bags. Back with another one. I'm still kind of sleepy because I had a lot of food yesterday. So, merry, happy, whatever you guys want to call it. Thanksgiving yesterday. Uh, a season of gluttony and football. Uh, I ate. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of food to eat. I made a pineapple and honey brown sugar glazed ham, and I made a normally it's a jalapeno bacon mac and cheese, but uh homegirl's daughter doesn't really dig on the swine, so I know she wasn't going to touch the ham, so I made just a jalapeno mac and cheese, which came out excellent. Those are two staples besides the turkey that you got to have I always have to have a ham, and I have to have mac and cheese. So that was good stuff. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. RJ, not so much. He has explosive diarrhea that he can't even sit in front of like a camera and do a show because his ass is just exploding so much diarrhea right now. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't melt from the inside. But RJ is not here today. Your boy Soto is here with the Raiders Chiefs preview show for week 12 of the season. Everybody, thoughts and prayers to RJ, and hopefully he recovers quickly from his explosive diarrhea. We were supposed to do this show together, and he hits me up while I'm, doing my morning routine. And he's like, hey, man, I need you to do the show today by yourself. And I'm like, uh-oh. And, what else can it be besides explosive diarrhea? I don't know. It probably is. Knowing RJ, it probably is. He probably undercooked himself some turkey yesterday. And it happens, man. It happens. A couple degrees here and there. Natives are getting a little restless and they want to eat. I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he comes out just fine. None the worse for wear. And no chafing. All right. Here we go. I don't know if I'm crazy. I might be. Maybe not for this. Maybe for some other stuff. But I think the Raiders have more of a chance than people are giving them. I did my research. I looked at damn near every sports and betting website. Nobody, not a soul, nobody that I have seen is choosing the Raiders to win. Nobody. I'm going to say it again. Everywhere that I have looked on the interweb, sports sites, gambling sites, nobody straight up is picking the Raiders to win. Damn. So here's the deal. Here's the deal, brothers and sisters. ESPN's FPI, which is regarded as the most accurate, okay? They have Kansas City with an 85.6% chance of winning by an average of 14.2 points. When the over-under is 43, that doesn't bode very well for us. Okay. We don't play it on the games online. We don't play the games by prognostication. We play the games on the field. So there's a couple of wrinkles we've got to talk about. There's a couple of things that we have to get into when we talk about this game, and things to look out for, just things to watch, and the way the Raiders can pull out a victory. All right. This is not the same old Kansas City Chiefs that we're used to. All right. Kansas City has the 14th ranked offense in points scored. That's like nowhere near. They're always like in the top 5, right? Is it the wide receiving core, lack of talent in the wide receivers? Is it the fact they don't have Eric Bieniemy anymore? I don't know. It could be a combination of the two. Could it be just lack of concentration? These young guys, these young receivers are pressing too much, and because of that, they're not concentrating enough and they're dropping a lot of passes. I don't know how young Marquez Valdes-Scantling is, but man, they're dropping everything up in here. These Chiefs can be 9-1 right now, very easily, or whatever they 7-3. Yeah, they could totally be 9-1, dude. Like they can be a lot better than they are right now without the drop passes, especially late in games, drop passes late in games. Not just drop touchdowns, but big third down drops and stuff like that. This team is not perfect offensively. Okay, they have Patrick Mahomes, yes. They have the tight end that will remain nameless, yes. But that's really it. Patrick Mahomes makes the offensive line look a lot better than they are because of his ability to scramble and his ability to be able to get the ball down the field at weird angles. A lot of quarterbacks can get away from pressure, but they can't still stay in a position where they can throw the ball with accuracy and with pace and with touch. Mahomes can do that, and that's probably what is his best attribute as a quarterback is his ability to stay in a throwing position because he has more throwing positions than most quarterbacks, but pretty much all quarterbacks, right? So his offensive line isn't amazing where, oh my God, he doesn't get sacked. Oh my God, he has so much time to throw. That's not it. He throws a lot of these passes while on the move and under duress. So let's make sure that we keep that in the front of our minds. The issue that we're going to run into is we have a rookie quarterback, we have a rookie offensive coordinator, play caller, going against the third-ranked defense in the league. This Kansas City defense, Spagnuolo's got these guys playing great, man. These Kansas City Chief defenses, they're damn good. They are just as good, if not better than the Jets defensively. They only give the third amount of points in the league. And that's allowing them to continue to win a majority of their games, even though they're only middle of the pack offensively. So that's where the struggle is going to lie. So here's some things to watch. Along those lines, there's going to be a game within the game between Maxx Crosby and Patrick Mahomes. I said it last week. Maxx Crosby just doesn't have to pressure. Maxx Crosby doesn't have to eat up blocks and allow others to make the plays. Maxx Crosby needed to show up in big times against the Dolphins last week. He had a lot of tackles and he had some pressures, but didn't have any sack. Oh, he had one sack. He needs to do more of that against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. We need to flush him out to his left. When we flush him out to his right, he thrown to the right, he's still very good. The issue that we run into is we need to have a secondary guy on the defensive line to step up and help out Maxx Crosby. We can't continue to blitz. Blitzing Patrick Mahomes is just a recipe for disaster, okay? We have to get home with our front four, maybe a fifth, but you can't do that very often. You have to disguise it pretty well. And I know that Patrick has a good scheme built up, but we have to win individual matchups up front. We can't allow Patrick Mahomes to pick us apart because the throws are going to get a lot easier as the time gets later in the play. So that's a big one to watch out for. The play of Maxx Crosby directly related to the passing of Patrick Mahomes. Big first one, all right? Second, we have to contain the tight end that will remain nameless. This dude is just, he brutalizes us almost every single game. And most of the time, it's either quick, short passes where we think he's going to do something and he just turns around and stops and catches the ball, or broken plays or extended plays where we just lose sight of him. And I think that's just absolutely crazy to me, how in this day and age, knowing how much and how high of a producer the tight end that will remain nameless is, and teams still lose sight of him during extended plays or broken plays. So we got to keep an eye on him. We got to figure out a way to keep him bracketed. I don't have any uh, fear of anyone else target wise on their team, but the tight end that remain nameless. So how do you guard the tight end? Pretty much how people are guarding Davante Adams. You have to bracket him. You have to make sure you don't give him any room. You have to make it difficult to get him the ball. I will live with the rest of this outcast group of bad news bears, freaking Chiefs receivers catching passes as long as it's not the tight end that remain nameless. The tight end has scored 11 touchdowns against us. 11. That's the most for him against any team. Now, of course, he plays us twice a year, but he also cooks us twice a year. All right. The only other players who have scored more touchdowns against us are Antonio Gates, another tight end. He had 13. And I think Steve Largent for the old Seahawks when they were in the AFC West with us, he had 12. On our team, the most touchdowns versus an opponent is our next opponent against the Vikings. It's Davante Adams has 13 against the Vikings. But the tight end that will remain nameless has 11 against us. So we have to contain him. He's really their most consistent weapon passing wise or receiving wise that the Chiefs have. Everyone else is just hit or miss. They have ability. They're in the NFL, right? They're athletic and whatever. But this is the guy that you really need to focus on because he can hurt you, and he can hurt you short yardage, the long yardage, red zone, anywhere in the field, this guy can hurt you. All right. So that's a big thing. Big thing to watch is how we play Travis Kelce. I said his name. The tight end that will remain nameless. Another thing that we should take a look at, and we should really, really focus on, is Chiefs corner L'Jarius Sneed. Last week, L'Jarius Sneed followed A.J. Brown throughout the game. Like wherever A.J. Brown went, that's where L'Jarius Sneed went. Okay? So he shadowed him the entire game. I think they're going to do something very similar to Davante Adams. I don't know that anyone is saying that A.J. Brown is better than Davante Adams. And if they do, I don't know that they're saying that there's a huge gap between A.J. Brown and Davante Adams. I don't see it. I think they're going to play them exactly the same. I think the way they want to play us is very similar to how they played against the Eagles. How are we going to get Davante Adams the ball? That's a big mystery. Is it going to be just short passes? Is it going to be bubble screens and stuff like that? I prefer not to throw him the ball like that. I don't know that he's not. I don't want to say that he's not good in space like that, but he's not a punt returner. That's not who he is. He's a guy that's going to get himself open by subtle moves, and he's faster than you guys think. So him, Davante Adams getting open, intermediate routes, and maybe a couple of deep routes throughout the game. I don't trust throwing the ball deep really to anybody else than Davante Adams. I don't know that Aidan O'Connell has the trust in his arm. That last interception last week against the Dolphins, if he would have thrown it to the back end zone, if he would have thrown it 2 yards out of the end zone, if that ball would have landed 2 yards out of the end zone, Tucker would have caught it. But he threw it a little bit shorter, and that allowed Ramsey to intercept the ball. But Tucker was behind the defense, so still a very tough pass. Right now, that is the most intriguing matchup in the secondary for the Chiefs against us, is what they're going to do with L'Jarius Sneed, because he's their best defender in the secondary, and he's capable of doing good work against anyone in the wide receivers in the NFL. So that's what I'm going to look at too. Is they're probably going to defend him the same. If L'Jarius Sneed is not on Davante Adams, that's an automatic hot route. That's your number one target, regardless of the play call. You have to go to Davante Adams. You got to change your play and go straight to Davante Adams if L'Jarius Sneed is not on him. All right. There's something very interesting. Kansas City hasn't scored not just a touchdown, but they haven't scored a point in like a month in the second half. Why is that? Is it a lack of creativity? Is it a lack of adjustments second half offensively? Are teams just able to figure out what the Chiefs want to do and defend them better in the second half? Are they dropping passes? So this is not just them not scoring touchdowns. This is them not even getting into field goal range and being able to move the ball in the second half. We have shown the ability to hold teams, especially in the second half, to little to no points. We need to do that again this week. We have to keep the score close. Our offense is not as such where we're just like a big play, pop, pop, pop type of offense. All right. We have to make sure that we do something very similar to that. Now, am I going to just, think that our defense is going to be able to hold them scoreless in the second half again? First off, I don't know that that's going to be the case. I don't know that it's fair to ask that of our defense. I think they're capable of doing it, but kind of like the law of averages. You're going to have a defense like this with this type of elite players on the offensive side with Kansas City for too many more games in a row be scoreless in the second half. I just doubt that's going to happen. I think that the defense can keep it close, but is the offense going to keep it? Is our offense going to keep it close? That's what we have to take a look at. All right. All signs of this game point to like a lower scoring game. The over-under, depending on where you look, is either 44 or 43. No Raider game at home has gone over 44 points this entire season. Okay. The Raiders only have one game over 44, and that's that shellacking by the Bills, 38-10. That's the only game that we have that's been over 44 points this entire season. The Chiefs only have 3, so it's not like they're lighting the world on fire here. So these are two offenses that come in. I think we have still a 30th ranked offense, and the Chiefs have 14. So we're not like it's not going to be a bar. You know what? Crazy things have happened. It could be 35-30 Raiders. Who knows, right? But for what the numbers say is it's not going to be a super high scoring game. So every possession is going to count. This year, Mahomes has like career low stats in like passer rating. It's like 98 something, and yards per attempt under 7. For him to have yards per attempt under 7 is ridiculous. That's crazy for him. But you take a look at Aidan O'Connell in his starts. His passer rating is like 70, and he's got like 6 interceptions. He's in his starts, so not the one drive versus Chicago, but he's thrown for what? 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns and a run for 1, and he's got like 6 interceptions, taken 12 sacks, fumbled the ball, lost 3 fumbles. Like, he hasn't looked great overall, but we're gonna break that down for you guys, okay? Here's just some ways that the Raiders can win. All right. Main thing is we got to keep the score close. We have to make sure that we're within striking distance, if not in the lead, playing with the lead the entire game. What does that mean? That means defensively, we talked about this earlier. It can't just be the Maxx Crosby show. It can't. We have to have that pressure from Butler and Tillery up the middle. We have to have pressure from the other side in Kuntz. We have to make Mahomes scramble into other defenders. If Mahomes scrambles and there's nobody else there and he can get room to either get outside the pocket or step up in the pocket and still throw, that's not going to be good enough. We have to win these individual matchups. We have to win these individual matchups at least half the time. Okay? There's going to be times where their offensive line wins. There's going to be times where our defensive line, maybe 2 or 3 guys win in a play. But we have to be consistent, and we have to put consistent pressure on Patrick Mahomes. We can't let him have one guy give him pressure because he's too good to be able to move around and avoid the one guy that's giving him pressure. When you see Patrick Mahomes getting sacked, it's not one guy that's sacking him. It's one guy giving him pressure and forcing him into another guy. If it's just one guy pressuring him, he can run around that guy and still beat you down the field. He's running less than usual, so we got to make sure that in the secondary, don't peek in the backfield. Don't peek, because you peek in the backfield and the guy that you're guarding is going to dip to a empty spot in the secondary, and Patrick Mahomes will find him. All right, especially the tight end that will remain nameless. Okay, so another thing, the secondary has to stay disciplined throughout the whistle. Okay, through the echo of the whistle, stay disciplined, stay locked on. All right. So if we can do that in conjunction, right? If we can do that together, I think we're going to have an okay game defensively. The linebackers, we need to flow to the ball. We need to see and stick, okay? Don't second guess things. Just see it. Trust your coaching. Trust your eyes, because this, I think, can be a game where the Kansas City rushing attack can play a big, big role. Many times, Andy Reid has a game plan that's completely different than everybody else for the Raiders. He'll do something completely different with every other team except for the Raiders. He has a specific game plan just for the Raiders that's different from every other one, like a lot different. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's a run-heavy attack. Even though McKinnon is a little bit – we'll get into the injuries in a second. Even though McKinnon is questionable to play, they still have Pacheco. They still have some of these other bums out there that can make plays if you're not ready for the running attack. So our linebacker needs to stay alert. All right. It is imperative offensively that we do not stray away from the rushing attack. We need to continue to run the ball. Now, unless we're down by, like, God forbid, we're down by like 2+ scores, right? Then we have to throw the ball more. But even then, we're not going to have a chance to get back in the game. Even then, we still have to run the ball. We have to be more hurry up because we can't waste a lot of time in between plays. But Josh Jacobs, we all know the stats, okay? When Josh Jacobs rushes the ball 25+ times, the Raiders are 13-2 all time. Okay? Under Aidan O'Connell at quarterback, when Josh Jacobs rushes more than 25 times a game, 25 or more times a game, he's 2-0. In those games, hasn't turned the ball over, has 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing. His completion percentage is about the same, right? But we're able to control the ball. We're able to do more things offensively because we have a solid rushing attack. All right. Little story time before we get into when Josh Jacobs rushes under 25 times a game. A little story time. Versus the Jets, okay? Josh Jacobs ran the ball, I think, 27 times for 116 yards. He had a 40-yard run, right? So he took that 40-yard run away. That's 26 times for 76 yards. That's like 2.9 yards per carry, like 3 yards per carry about, right? Against the Dolphins, I think was 14 rushes for like 40-something yards or something like that, 42 yards, 2.8 yards a carry. The only difference between the Dolphins game and the Jets game, which were both close games, is the Raiders got away from the rushing attack. That 40-yard run was in the second half, okay? I want to let you know that. So it wasn't like Josh Jacobs was having a great rushing attack, a great rushing game, and he also had a 40-yard run. No, he was having a 2.9 yards per game rushing attack, right? And then he got a 40-yard run, which boosted it up to like 4 yards a carry. But he had more carries. You cannot allow Aidan O'Connell to throw the ball 41 times in the game. You are asking for those 3 turnovers. You are asking for it by asking Aidan, your rookie 4th-round quarterback who didn't take first-team snaps the entire season, even during his first start. Him and Hoyer split first-team snaps. He didn't start taking first-team snaps until he started against the Giants. That's when he took all the first-team snaps. We cannot let the circumstances of games get away from us as such to where we go away from Josh Jacobs as much as we did against the Dolphins. Who do I put that loss on the Dolphins against? I put that loss firmly at the feet of Antonio Pierce because he allowed it to happen, Coach Bo, and then thirdly, because of that, Aidan O'Connell. Cannot happen again. Cannot happen. We know the recipe of success for this team. Hell, Derek Carr is a more accomplished and a more polished and a more starter-ready quarterback than Aidan O'Connell is at this point right now. And I never wanted Derek Carr to throw the ball 40 times a game. I'm going to want to have Aidan O'Connell throw the ball 40 times a game? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. I will repeat again. It cannot happen and us win this game. Josh Jacobs needs to run the ball early. Josh Jacobs needs to run the ball often. Regardless of the result, we need to stick with the run. Even if we're punting, we need to run the ball. Josh Jacobs needs to get 25-plus carries in this game. He will wear that defense down. Chris Jones is an amazing player. I'm not saying he's not. But you know what? We got to sack up. We got to put our big boy pants on. And that offensive line needs to figure out a way to give Josh Jacobs a chance. Do I say we have to win blocks? No. We have to at least have a stalemate and give Josh Jacobs a chance for success. But we can't get away from Josh Jacobs running the ball. Coach Bo, if you're watching this, you're probably not. You will never meet me in your entire life. Never know who I am. Never cry a tear when I go off to the pearly gates. But I'm telling you this right now. If you go away from Josh Jacobs in this game, you will not be our offensive coordinator. Plain and simple. You will not get this job. No one is hiring you for your elaborate game plans and your elaborate plays and all this BS. No. They will hire you if you are effective at what you do and using your players effectively. Having Josh Jacobs rush the ball 14 times in a one-score game throughout against the Dolphins, a game that we should have won on the road, is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you ask a rookie 4th-round quarterback making his 3rd start or 4th start to throw the ball 40-plus times. Absolutely ridiculous. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Cannot happen. I cannot stress this enough. If we want to win this game, we need to have it be a Josh Jacobs-centric offense. He needs to rush the ball 25-plus times. Plain and simple, no ifs, ands, or buts. That has to happen. If that doesn't happen, we will not win this game. I'm telling you right now. We won't win many games, hardly any games, unless Josh Jacobs is a bell cow back for us. Plain and simple. Take that however you want to take it. Can Aidan O'Connell improve? Yes. I've seen a lot of his college tape. If you guys want to see what Aidan O'Connell can do, I think it was the Music City Bowl against the Tennessee Volunteers when he was with Purdue, his junior year when he was balling out. He was balling that game. He was going deep. He was ball. And can I say it right now? I told you guys, Aidan O'Connell's arm strength is not an issue. Everyone wanted to make a big deal out of his arm strength because he didn't have a freaking Richardson arm strength. He didn't have a freaking Will Levis arm strength. His arm strength is perfectly fine. All right. I also told a lot of guys, I'm not going to name who was a special guest of ours, so that's another show, but I told him that CJ Stroud was the truth, and he's like, I don't know. Whatever. What do I know? Okay. But Aidan O'Connell's arm strength is not a problem, not an issue whatsoever. He's got the arm to do it. when he's comfortable in a system, when he's comfortable with the speed of the game, with the defense, how defense is trying to trick him in the NFL, he may get to that. But right now, he's not that. Does he have the ability to throw deep? Yeah, look at the ball last week against Miami. We cannot put this game on. Oh my God, Richie knows. We cannot put this game on the shoulders of Aidan O'Connell. We're not going to win that way. We're not. We have to ride Josh Jacobs to this victory. It has to be the rushing attack. When you have a strong running game, guess what you can do? You can do play action. Guess what will work? Reverses. Guess what will work? Misdirection. Guess what will work? Screens. But it has to be off the running game. Okay? All right. When Josh Jacobs doesn't rush the ball 25 plus times, we're like something like 19-37 as a team when Josh Jacobs doesn't rush the ball 25 times. We're 13-2 when he does. Like, dude, what is the issue here? What is the problem? This is only a couple of games without Derek Carr, who was a franchise quarterback from what many people say. Even with him, we needed to rush the ball 25 plus times with Josh Jacobs. This season, Aidan O'Connell, 0-2 when Josh Jacobs rushes the ball less than 25 times. 2-0 when he rushes the ball more than 25 times. And we ran the ball 25 plus times against the Jets defense. So don't give any of this crap that, the Chiefs defense is too good. You can't just keep rushing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Again, Josh Jacobs wasn't lighting the world on fire until that 40-yard run. He's still at a 3-yard. That's how this works, guys. Running backs are going to have like a 3-yard per carry, maybe a little over 3 yards a carry on most of the runs because they get stopped at the line of scrimmage, tackles for loss, stuff like that. But then they bust open those big runs, and those big runs all get into the pot and all get cooked down, and then you get your average. You got to keep running the ball with Josh Jacobs, especially with your rookie quarterback. I don't understand in what universe, in what planet Coach Bo thought it was okay to have a rookie quarterback on the road throw the ball 40 freaking times. Can't happen. Can't happen now. Can't happen next game. The game after that. Can't happen on the bye week. Josh Jacobs needs to get 25 carries in a bye week. We need to run him. He doesn't have to freaking sign with us next season. We need to use what we have right now. And right now, Josh Jacobs is our guy. Along those same lines, we can't put Aidan O'Connell in the position to turn the ball over multiple times. What does that mean? We have to protect him. We have to stay out of obvious passing downs. Okay? Those obvious passing downs, the Chiefs defense is going to pin their ears back. They're going to do what they've been doing lately is they load up the front like many teams do and then just drop people back. It's going to confuse the hell out of Aidan O'Connell, right? It's going to cause him to be slower. It's going to cause him to hesitate. And he's going to get pressure, and he's going to wing the ball out, and it's going to get intercepted. We have to stay ahead of the sticks, okay? That means don't even get into fourth. Don't even get into third down. All right? Also, with the running game, the play action is going to help a lot. We need to make sure that we slow down this pass rush, number one. Also, the play action, and most importantly, even though Nick Bolton, probably one of their best defenders behind Jones and Snead on that Chiefs defense is Nick Bolton. He's on IR, so he's not going to play. But you got to hold those linebackers to be able to get to that intermediate level. That intermediate level is going to be key for Aidan O'Connell. That middle of the field was open for, and I'll talk about this in a second, but it was open for a lot of different targets when we were doing play action against the Giants and against the Jets. And it gives you a lot of more success to be able to throw the ball intermediate and then in the deep routes. So we got to make sure that we run the ball well so we can use play action to open up the middle of the field. Okay. What's up, Razor? Oh, we're gonna start fighting. I keep thinking like it's a weekend day, but it's Friday, and they know it's Friday, but they're like, "What are you doing home all day?" Okay. Other targets not named Davante Adams can step up. Are they going to get targeted a lot? Probably not. I still see, even with L'Jarius Sneed on Davante Adams, probably the entire game, I still see Davante Adams having the bulk of the targets. But when Jacoby Myers is called on, when Michael Mayer is called on, when Hunter Renfrow is called on, when Trey Tucker is called on, these guys need to produce, right? Okay. We got a lot of people injured, right? There's all for KC. Nick Bolton's on IR; he's not playing. McKinnon and Hardman are questionable. I don't know if they're going to play or not. But for us, Crosby, Spillane, Merrick, Jack Jones, Colton Miller, Marcus Epps are all questionable. I think out of all of the players that are questionable, I think Epps probably has the lowest probability of playing because of the neck stinger, neck injury. But I think all these guys play. I think Miller's progressing fine. I think Jack Jones was a simple thing. I think he'll be okay. Merrick is going to be fine. Splane's going to be fine. Crosby, of course, is going to be fine. I think all these guys play. All right. I want to talk about something with you guys. If you guys don't know, my background is, I have a psychology degree, right? And I like thinking about the mind and how the mind works and how the mind works in situations is something that's very important to me. We talk about finding ways to win, right? Teams that know how to win. I honestly don't like. I kind of shudder at that. I kind of cringe at that. Like, oh, knowing how to win. Like, oh, of course you know how to win. You score more points, right? You hold them to less points. But it goes a little bit deeper than that. How many times have we seen on a third down, you have a player that just jukes the crap out of the DB. He's wide open for a little slant pass, like what happened last week. Little slant pass. If you catch the slant pass and just drop down to the ground, it's a first down, right? What happens? The receiver goes to look at the to catch the ball. He turns away to look and see to make the move after he catches the ball, before he catches the ball, and he drops the ball. You can't make the big play before you make the little play. You got to secure the little play first. Once you secure that, then good things can happen. It's about concentration. It's about execution. It's about being efficient in those situations. Are you going to do every single one? No, because there's 11 guys on the other side trying to stop you, right? So there is some resistance there. But we need to focus on making the little plays before we go and make the big plays. This is not a game where we can look to make big, huge, explosive plays. We need to just make the right play, make the play that's in front of us, right? That's offensively and defensively. That's why I said in one of my keys to victory, the DBs cannot peek in the backfield. If Mahomes wants to run for the first down, let him. Let him run for that first down. Cool. You got it. That's the defensive line and the linebackers' jobs. DBs, you stick to your man. Offensively, we need to make sure we make the play that's there. Don't look over your shoulder. Don't look to make this play anything more than it's what it's supposed to be. Catch the pass, then make a play afterwards. Seal your block. Hold your block. We don't need you to pancake everybody every time. At least get a stalemate. At least go 50-50 with the guy and give Josh Jacobs a chance. Josh Jacobs, don't fumble the freaking ball. You guys fighting over here? Hey, man, go pull my freaking sheets up. Chill. This freaking guy, that's Apollo Creed right there. That's my black cat. He's Apollo Creed. This dude will not sleep on the top comforter, blanket, whatever I have on there. He won't sleep on it. He likes to sleep on the sheets because he's bougie like that. So I make the bed, and he comes over and he pulls up all my sheets. Ugh. Anyway, back to football. We have to make sure that we stay in our assignments, offensively and defensively. This is going to be a hard game to win. This is going to be a hard game to win because regardless of how much the Kansas City offense has struggled, like I said it previously in the show, Andy Reid just loves beating the Raiders. He will hold all these little concepts and these plays, and he will hold all this stuff in his back pocket until he plays the Raiders, just for the Raider game. He has like a specific game plan that he's been going crazy in just for the Raider game. Defensively, the Chiefs are damn good, but we just played a really good defense in the Jets, and we were able to score points against them. So I don't see us having a problem with that. The issue that we're going to run into is if we try to play over our skis, if we try to play too over our heads, right? Coach Bo, and to a deeper extent, Coach AP. Coach AP needs to make it clear to Coach Bo, this is the identity of our team. Win, lose, draw. Up 15, down 14, up 30, down 30. We need to play the game this way. This is Raider football, which is run the ball and take shots. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right. Okay, guys, that's it for the pregame show. My prediction is 23-21 Raiders. I think we get it done. I think we score a couple touchdowns and maybe a few field goals. But I think 23-21 is a good score for the good guys. Actually, for the bad guys. All right, let's see. We got a couple of questions here. Jack Kenna, I haven't seen you on in a while. Where the hell you been? Let's see. Jack Kenna, question. I know you're not a car guy, but do you think the current Raiders team would be better with Carr at this time? If you could pluck Carr and put him into this Raiders team now, I think the Raiders could be a little bit better. I think so. One thing that we're not realizing is, Carr had his warts as well. He wasn't a perfect quarterback by any means. I think he's more capable as a quarterback consistently right now than Aidan O'Connell is. I think his grasp of we have to take a look at something. In the same offense last season, Carr didn't do very well. Now, it was Josh McDaniels, but I think Josh McDaniels regressed I think if we had the same rushing attack this season than we had last season, I think we would have won more games regardless of who the quarterback was, right? But even with that rushing attack, Carr didn't play really well that last season. So it's all pie in the sky, but you have to take a look at both things here. You can't just take a look at how well Carr played in his good games. You also have to take a look at how he played in his poor games. In the same offense last season, with Carr at quarterback, we squandered a lot of leads. Now, you can say it's play calling, as this and that, but it was also Carr just not playing well, even with the league's leading rusher. We didn't have the league's leading rusher. We didn't have the Josh Jacobs that we know and love until the Giants game, until after McDaniels was gone. We had that guy last year, and we still weren't winning. So I take a pause and to say, if we could just drop Carr right into this team, we'll be ready to go. Well, this team isn't running the ball consistently as well as we did last year. How's that going to play into that? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't trust Carr throwing the ball 40 times either. Okay, so I'll hit the brake on that narrative that if we would have just kept Carr, we would have been so much better this season. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. The Saints have played a lot weaker schedule than we have, and they have like the same record than we do. Okay, So let's just take a step back. And the Saints defense I think is better than ours, and he's still not lighting the world on fire, right? Can we agree on that? The Saints defense is better than the Raiders defense, and they're still like 500 team. So, I mean, pick your poison. Let's see what we got here. Keith Bardini. Aidan O'Connell looks panicked after his first read was unavailable and the pressure was closing in. He needs to run if in danger. If he could run, I think he would. I think he was trained by Coach Braum to stay in the pocket. I think he's able to do that. But what we need to realize is we have to have the running attack to complement Aidan O'Connell. Okay? You have to complement the running back with a running back. I think if we have a better rushing attack, if we stick with the rushing attack for longer against the Dolphins, I think we have a better outcome. Jack Kennan again. So just got done watching your previous show. Any news on Shaq? No, I don't think he's going to come to the Raiders. I think he wants to go to a contender. I think that's going to be something like, I mean, I don't know that the Niners need him. They probably won't. But I think, what was it, Nakobe Dean? Is that the linebacker from the Eagles that just went on IR? The Eagles might need him. I think the Cowboys might need him at linebacker. I think those are two big places two places that he can probably go to. Lil Sean, yeah, I hate to make this about this, but come on, guys. No, I'm not even gonna get into it. Look, guys, anything not Carr related. Carr is not our quarterback anymore. He's never going to be our quarterback. Just let it go. Okay. I understand this is the same mentality that people had when he was playing with us. People rated him a lot higher than he actually was because they look at all the spikes, all the highs, all the big games, and they forget all the trash games because they blame it on everybody else. Oh, the defense was bad. Oh, coordinator was bad. Oh, the receivers were bad. All this other stuff. Dude, just let it go. Ty Davis, thank you for the super chat. What can we tweak on the offense to score more? I think we need to, number one, we need to keep the ball more, which means use Josh Jacobs more, right? We need to be able to, we need to get better at secondary plays like the reverses. We haven't, done a fake reverse to like a play action type of thing. Like we need to use more misdirection properly. We need to be able to use our tight end more effectively in early downs, not just third down. We need to focus on Hunter Renfrow on third down and ways to get him the ball and highlight him in the offense. Basically, we need to be able to extend drives longer. We're not very good on third down as far as converting third downs. That means being more successful on first and second down. What else we got, guys? Come on. I got about maybe a few minutes left if you guys are still giving me the good questions here. Let's see here. All right, I'm looking up the defensive rankings right now. All righty. Like I said, New Orleans Saints, 19.8 points per game. Las Vegas Raiders, 20.5 points per game. And we just started getting good. Okay, we just started getting good. So that was with allowing 6 points and 12 points in 2 weeks. So yeah, goes to show you, listen to your boy who actually does research and actually looks at the numbers before he says stuff. Don't just go off of what you think. Go off of the numbers. What else we got in here? Do you see Raiders being able to contain the tight end that remain nameless? I think we need to do a lot of different things against him. I think that it would be smart to employ a multiple, maybe like one thing with the Giants. Patrick Graham was good at using 3 safeties, so he was able to keep linebackers on the field to contain the rushing attack, but he was able to bracket a lot of tight ends using 2 safeties. We could probably do that too. I think that's a good idea for us to do. It's going to be a big struggle, but honestly, I don't know that the tight end that remain nameless hurts us the most on design plays. He hurts us the most on extended plays, and that's where he makes his big plays against us is on extended plays and broken plays. As long as we stay vigilant with him, as long as we, like I said, the DBs, as long as they don't peek into the backfield, they stick on their guy, I think we'll be okay. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you, buddy. Ty Davis, thank you for the super chat. Do you feel that we need to change anything on D? Look, call me a USC homer, right? Call me what you will. Every time Isaiah Paul-Mao is on the field, he makes plays. Is he the most physically gifted? No, I wouldn't say that. But every time Isaiah Paul-Mao is on the field, he makes plays. He was one of the higher rated safeties in the league in the last half or last quarter of the season last year when he started playing more. He goes in for an injured Epps, and guess what? He freaking makes plays. One thing I think we can do is put Isaiah Paul-Mao in with Epps and Merrick in a 3 safety set. I think we can do that. I think that'll work really well for us. I don't know. Isaiah Paul-Mao is not that big, right? For a safety, he's right around 200, maybe 205. Maybe he's bulked up, but the last time I checked, it was around 200, 205. A lot smaller than the tight end that will remain nameless. But if we put him on the tight end that will remain nameless and bracket him over the top, I think we're going to have it's a good idea for us to do. Having those guys on the field that make plays. Marcus Peters, look, man, Marcus Peters is who he is. He's a Raider for life, right? He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's probably the quarterback back there telling everyone to make sure of things and making sure where they are. But if he doesn't produce, if he doesn't tackle, if he keeps allowing this huge cushion to allow easy targets, easy completions in front of him, we got to get him off the field, man. This defense, the way that we play defense up front, necessitates us having closer press coverage. Even closer coverage, even doing a trail technique and a shadow technique in zone, and not just sit back, but whenever someone's in your area, that's who you go and rush and pick up. You don't just sit back and wait for something to happen. We got to make sure that a lot of these players are held accountable, regardless of who you are, regardless of how long you've played in the league. How are you playing now? That's what we need to focus on. All right, guys. That's it for me. Thank you guys very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Everyone, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know how we do. It really helps us out. We're getting really close. I think we are. Let me double check because I think we might already be there. We're getting really close to it. But from your guys' help and your guys' support and your guys, just talking about the win backs, talking about us, talking about how we do things and who we are and you like the channel. We're at 7,998 subscribers. So we're almost at the 8,000 mark. So thank you guys very much. Very much appreciated. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are the ones that make this thing run. Everyone, make sure, if this is your first time watching the Windbags, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Get into a healthy banter with people. Talk about things. But, do me a huge favor. Have something to back it up, all right? Because I try to talk to you guys about some things sometimes, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, what about this and that? I'm going, well, number don't support what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, the store's open. Grab yourself some swag. When you buy stuff from us, tag us on Instagram, tag us on Twitter or X or whatever with wearing our gear. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up saying, oh, I like the mug. I like, a lot of T-shirts. But yeah, man, if you like stuff, just go ahead and buy it and support the Windbags. Good quality stuff. Yeah, you can get an entry-level quality T-shirt. You can get a premium quality T-shirt or hoodie. But just make sure that you go in there and just check out what we got. Whether you buy or not, Christmas is coming up. If you got a Raider fan in your life, go ahead and support the Windbags. All right, guys. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Can't do it without you. We're going to go ahead and give you your best of your Friday and Saturday back and be ready to hit it hard on Sunday to beat these Chiefs. And until next time, guys, peace.